Alright, this battle is against a longtime viewer and commentator of videos on my channel, so thanks to him for that. Up against lectrikamikaze, aka Phil, and I think this is the first time I've battled him, so definitely glad to finally get a battle between us, and it was a good one, so I hope you'll enjoy. Anyway, challenged by Phil, sends out Colorman, and sends out Sybil the Delphox. So this is the first time I've seen a Delphox. From what I remember, it's got pretty decent attack, or special attack, and speed, so it's probably going to outspeed, and it's got limited coverage, so I don't really know what it's going to do, but we're just going to be content. We did of course have team preview canceled with the Pokemon card you saw there, so we're just going to set up Sticky Web as per the usual. Uses Flamethrower, gets me down to 20 HP, and then jacks my Focus Sash. How rude. So he's a Magician set, looks like, and takes my Sash, and he's at full HP, so he's going to be able to use my Sash. So that's quite nice. You know, if he had taken me down to 1 HP, you know, or you know, activated my Sash, I don't know how that would have worked if I would have still burned the Sash, and then he wouldn't have been able to steal it. So I don't quite know how that works. Anyway, as he's faster, I'm just gonna save Colorman for Death Fodder, get in Splash Woman, and here's a Hawlucha again. Last time I saw this was against Malk, and he had a Hone Claw set, and Splash Woman was pretty comfortable with that. So he's bulk up this time, so he's raising defense instead of accuracy, which is probably better. But Splash Woman, you come through once again. You do about 50% with Scald, and you pick up a nice burn. So right about now, feeling pretty alright. Patting Splash Woman on the back, saying, yep, you got this on lockdown for me. Thanks, Vaporeon. And we're just going to set up a Wish in the air, and maybe just let him die to burn. Might be what we want to do. Except he pulls a Rest. And that's going to get rid of that damage and that burn, and he's Resto Chesto, and all of a sudden my happiness at this turn of events is way less. So, he's going to go Acrobatics, and that did a lot of damage. Makes me very glad that I Acid Armor up here and then get the Wish up, because that did about 60 to 70% of Vaporeon's life. But now we're at +2, so we're still in a decent position against this thing. We will be able to 2-hit KO it, and he's going to switch out and bring in Sylveon. So I'm going to Acid Armor up again, so that was a good switch. It's basically going to waste my Acid Armors now, as I'm not likely to stay in on Sylveon. It could set up with Calm Mind, it could run a set similar to me, except it might also have Toxic, which would just ruin Vaporeon. And therefore we're going to switch out to somebody else. I could Protect first. I probably well, it would be a toss-up. I could Protect first to scout for Toxic, but that could also give him a Calm Mind, which I don't want. So we're just going to make an offensive switch here, and we're going to bring in Swordman, so that'll be helpful. He uses Hyper Beam, which my first thought is, why is this hitting? My second thought is, oh wait, Pixelate. My third thought is, why did that do over 100 damage resisted? Yeah, so that just happened. Down to 34 HP, and fortunately, however, it was Hyper Beam, so we get a free turn to do whatever I want, and I just want to go for a hit. I don't want to set up a Totemize just yet. I don't have enough HP to sweep remaining. I'm going to need to pass in a Wish at some point later on, potentially. But he lives the Flash Cannon from at about 2 HP, looks like. So it looks like he's a very offensive set, as I know Sylveon's typically quite specially bulky. I would definitely not expect Flash Cannon to 1-hit KO it, but it did leave it at just a smidge, so I guess that's better than being dead, huh? We're going to switch in Colorman here as potential Death Fodder, potential set something else up, Spore something, I don't know. But he brings in Sliggoo, so I'm just going to immediately assume Eviolite, even though Eviolite's Sliggoo is probably not the best thing to Eviolite in the world, since it gains such a big HP boost when it evolves into Goodra. But I remember it has a couple abilities it can run, probably not Hydration, so probably either Sap Sipper or Gooey. Based on the name, you know, probably Gooey, but then, you know, that reminds me of, like, people would name their Garchomp Scarf Chomp, and it was or wasn't Scarf Chomp in Mind Games and all that stuff. So if he's Sap Sipper, that means he will negate Spore and get an attack raise. So I'm just not willing to take that risk. I'm just going to Parting Shot out. If he ends up to be Gooey instead, well, I guess fine, whatever. We're going to drop in Machamp and make sure he's at -1 attack instead of +1 attack, and then me still having to make a switch from there. I suppose I could have Spored, and if he did get the +1, then proceed to Parting Shot on the next turn, but he would potentially just straight up kill me as well. So there's Infestation, which is the new Bug-type Wrap / Bind / Clamp, whatever move. 100% accurate though, so that makes it somewhat useful, I suppose. And yeah, so we're going to be taking continual damage from this as long as it stays in. We also cannot switch. That's perfectly fine, as I'm just going to be keen to go for a dynamic punch. Does over 50%, gets confusion, and activates Gooey though, so let's see what he's going to do. And he's going to hit himself, which doesn't do a whole lot. So anyway, we're going to be fine to go for D-Punch again. I forget exactly how fast Sliggoo is, but I can't imagine it's very fast, so it might be faster since we're both at -1. Anyway, sends in Sylveon for Death Fodder. With Sticky Web up, it's not really going to be faster than anything else, and probably is not going to be able to set up a Wish on really anything on my team except for maybe Color Man. So that allows him to get a free switch into Nacho Libre over there, Hawlucha, and he can either go for a kill shot with acrobatics or set up a bulk up as I switch. Since I don't really have anything to hurt or one-shot him with, I've got Stone Edge, but he's part fighting type. We're just going to go for the switch as he uses acrobatics, making sure that I, make that switch. So Shade Man will handle Hawlucha okay for a while, at least until he gets enough bulk ups up. And we're just going to make sure to keep track of the bulk ups. And I think my eventual plan is going to be get him down with Toxic, make him go for a rest without Chesto, and be able to bring in Splash Woman and two-shot him. I don't know why I go for knockoff there. Maybe I forgot that I had already taken away the Chesto Berry when he rested earlier. Maybe it was a misclick. One of the two. I don't know. Anyway, I get him Toxic now. So because of that, though, he's at 2 bulk ups instead of just 1 before I get him Toxic. And now we're just going to basically click Roost until he's low enough that I think he's going to use Rest on that turn or else potentially die. And then that will be the turn I would like to bring in Vaporeon and take advantage of as many turns of rest as I could. So he's going to Acrobatics, knock me down from 168 down to 50. And then we're going to Roost up and get Poison Heal and +2 Acrobatics, at the base 110. Still only does 5 net damage to Gliscor. So, yeah, Gliscor is pretty good. But he pulls a rest this turn, which is interesting. Seems like it's a little premature. I mean, he didn't recover too much HP. But also basically waste one of my Roosts. That I could have covered that with Poison Heal at some point. But because he rested now, this sort of puts me in a weird predicament, because now I'm going to have to Toxic, if I want to do the same thing, I'll have to Toxic him again on a turn he wakes up, which means that I won't be able to Roost on that turn he hits me, and therefore I will probably lose Shade Man. So it seems kind of weird to rest there while he's at like 75%, but it actually puts me in a weird spot. Also, if I could switch in Vaporeon now, but that would be 1 less turn of sleep than I ideally wanted her to be able to have. And based on how much Acrobatics did before, I'm pretty sure that would be a one-shot on her if I don't have any Acid Armors up or anything. So, very difficult decision on what to do right here, and we're definitely thinking about it for quite a while. And what do we end up doing here? Going to Erase Man. He's got 2 bulk ups, so Play Rough is not going to do nearly enough. I don't even think it's going to 2-hit KO. Unless I get like max damage twice and he's not bulky invested, which I'm going to assume because of bulk up he is. Mostly has a sizable HP investment. So fortunately, however, Vaporeon scares him out and brings in this thing. So I'm just going to immediately Acid Armor up. I think that's better than trying to go for 2 Scalds. Although we could certainly go for a Scald and then, well, no, Play Rough, he's, it's a tough because he could do a lot of things with his EVs. I'm going to assume he's max attack. If he's max bulk, then, certain things happen. If he's not max speed, then maybe Erase Man is faster. So, there's a lot of variables at work, and I just don't know which way is going to be the best. But anyway, so that's why we just go with a safe play and bring in Splash Woman and get up to +2 so that we're at least taking the thing neutrally. So anyway, this thing is in again. And I don't really want to set up Infestation, so we're just going to drop an Erase Man. If he wants to Infestation, then, it's super effective, but it's Infestation, so whatever. But he wants to rest and get some HP back, and he is not Resto Chesto, so this is going to give me the option to go Mega here, which is always something I like to try to get up as soon as possible, and it's been about, I guess it's been about 18 minutes in the, alright, so you can see the battle time right there. It's been about 20 minutes over the course of the fight now. 19, whatever. I still don't know enough information about his Hawlucha. I don't know, its EVs, how fast it is. It's obviously immune to Sticky Web due to Flying type. So I don't really want to Swords Dance up, as he could just bring that in. He hasn't shown me a fighting move, but I'm just going to assume he has it. But if nothing else, Acrobatics might actually kill Erase Man anyway. So I think we're just going to go for a safe move here, just go for Play Rough. And that is what we do. Does over 50%, so I'm going to be pretty okay just going for that again. Gets Gooey up. Let's see, we already saw it had Gooey when it used Machamp, or hit Machamp. So he Sleep Talks the rest, so I'm pretty glad for that. I don't know what his fourth move was. I don't think we ever actually get to see, but I'm just glad whatever it was I did not get hit by it. I get to stay at full life, so we're just going to play rough again. And now, however, I'm down to -2 speed, so I'm probably going to be slower than whatever comes in, and I'm not really going to be keen on doing anything except sucker punching. Drops in this thing, which it's at -1, but I'm pretty sure that Delphox is fast enough that me at -2 and it at -1, it's still going to be faster. So I probably should just Shadow Claw here, knowing that he's got my Focus Sash. Also knowing that he's got Magician. I know I'm not going to activate Blaze and get myself killed because of that. So I should probably Shadow Claw. However, I believe I actually end up to Sucker Punch here. Either would be super effective, of course, against the Fire Psychic type. And, yep, we just Sucker Punch. And definitely, yep, takes it down to the Sash. And it's just going to Flamethrower. So, yeah, that bit of HP we saved by him not rest-talking an attack move comes in to save me right there for sure. Sets up a light screen on my Sucker Punch. So that's, what, 2 Sucker Punches I have used. Sucker Punch PP is definitely very precious, and there I've used the 3rd. I'm down to 5 remaining. So, what's he going to drop in? Oh, boy. Drops in Volcarona, which for some reason is affected by the Sticky Web. However, I'm at -2 and it's at -1, so I'm probably still going to be slower. So Volcarona is one of, if not the best uses of Broken Dance, aka Quiver Dance. And you know, it's a move that is, yeah, if it had a wider distribution, it would probably end up getting banned, but its distribution is pretty thin, so I guess it's alright. But anyway, we're definitely in not a fun spot here. I don't calc my Sucker Punches as even doing about 50%. So I'm just going to assume he wants to get at least 1 Quiver Dance up. We do still have Machamp, who if he just wants to go for a kill, can come in and maybe just try to get it dead with Stone Edge, although I don't actually think, based on how much HP Machamp has left, it would live a Flamethrower for Volcarona's big special attack. But he does Quiver Dance, and we're going to proceed to Shadow Claw, and that actually does a good bit more than I thought it would. I calculated to only do about like 25%, so I did almost twice. So I don't know if he just didn't breed for a... I don't know if there's an IV at work there, if my calc was wrong, I don't know what happened. Hasty nature, who knows. Anyway, I Sucker Punch now, as I would like to try to get it dead. And this is the situation you get into with Sucker Punches, especially with the low PP. As we now have half of them gone. He can just Quiver Dance on my Sucker Punches, and yep, he's going to do it again. So he's now at +3, and I have used 5 Sucker Punches. So Light Screen wears off. At least I think that's 5 Sucker Punches gone. I think I have 3 left at this point. Might be 2. If I ever pull off a Sucker Punch, which I continue to fail, and now I'm definitely down to 2. I've used 6. If I ever pull off a Sucker Punch, I'm going to be fine. If I pull off a Shadow Claw as he goes for... was I actually faster there? No, I wasn't faster there. If I pull off a Shadow Claw as he Quiver Dances, however... obviously he will not have been hitting me, and it looks like that actually will 2-hit KO. So the presence of Shadow Claw actually being able to apparently 2-hit KO definitely changed some of the thoughts in this. But I'm taking this one down to the wire. I've got 2 Sucker Punches left. He may or may not be counting them, but I sure am. I see the display on my thing. Oh, but anyway, with 2 Sucker Punches to go, and it not being my last one yet, I decide let's go ahead and go for one. And we get it, and that absolutely saved the game. We were definitely, I believe, swept if I messed up on that one. I still had one to go. I feel kind of bad because I was just sitting there clicking Sucker Punch hoping he would go for an attack. So it didn't feel like there was too much mind games behind it, even though I felt like at the time there definitely was. It's just I kept throwing the same thing, as it were, and eventually he threw the wrong thing trying to mix it up. Anyway, so that was that. And right now my head is already spinning from what just transpired, and somehow I got out of that and took down a +4 to 3 stats Volcarona, some ridiculous crap like that. Anyway, so save the sweep there, and this thing is in here. It's at -2. It's at -1. I'm at -2. So its Ice Shard is probably going to beat out my Sucker Punch and kill me. So this is a good time to use Color Man for Death Fodder. That's what I saved him for. And we also get to see that he is Life Orb there, and he's not choiced. So we're going to now bring in Swordman, who should be faster due to Web, and is going to attempt to use a flash cannon here. Now you will remember that I put some HP in here, and oh my gosh, we got a 1 HP live. So those, how much HP I put in, what, 94 HP EVs in there, and every last one of them, I think, or every last increment of 4, whatever, 8 whatever, was needed to survive that right there and get that kill. So okay, we just stopped the sweep after some sucker punch shenanigans, and we got a 1 HP live. So in comes this thing, and I'm pretty discombobulated at this point, probably not even thinking about I can just 2-hit KO him with Scald. At this point, I've probably forgotten that I can 2-hit KO it with Scald, and I'm just setting up acid armors for no reason, which if he crits me is a good way for me to lose. But anyway, we're eventually going to catch on that I can just 2-hit KO him with acid armor, or with acid armor, with Scald, and that's going to be right about now. Get burnt again, so at that point I think we probably were safe. Yeah, so after this fight I was, I think I had to go to bed immediately. My head was spinning, I was tingly all over after that stuff with the Volcarona, and then the 1 HP live on top of that. So fantastic game, lectrikamikaze, and yeah, there's the ghost face. That was pretty much my facial expression after having this fight. So tremendously enjoyed this battle, and hope we can have some more in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed as well. It was definitely very tense for me, and definitely one of my favorite series of events, definitely to end a battle in this series, I would say. I don't know if it's my favorite overall or not. We'll have to see the rest of these in retrospect to determine that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you for the next one, and later days.